Subcommittee will please come to order. And my thanks to our guests and witnesses for being here today. We're going to be joined by Senator McCain shortly. Today's hearing is the latest in a series of hearings that this subcommittee has held to examine the effectiveness of agency information technology investments. It's widely recognized that the technology has transformed the way that we as Americans interact, the way we socialize, the way we conduct our business. For example, it's becoming more and more common for the average American to start the day by firing up their computer rather than by opening up a newspaper. We've come to expect accurate and reliable information on demand. Businesses must have an effective presence online in order to maintain relevant, to remain relevant and to remain competitive. If they want to stay in touch with their customers and gain efficiencies, they must constantly seek out and harness the latest technology innovations. Similar things could be said about the federal government. The Obama administration appears to be filled with some of the most tech-savvy men and women to sign up for government service, at least in the time that I've been around here. I applaud the President's early commitment, including during his time in this body, to use technology to make government more transparent and more effective. I think we look forward to hearing more details from Mr. Kundra today about the administration's technology agenda and how we can make better, more cost-effective use of the latest innovations. I say this because this subcommittee has extensively examined two critical issues that call into question the federal government's ability to use technological innovation to save money, to improve customer service, and to better achieve agency missions. The first area involves failing IT investments. All too often, agency technology investments, from something as simple as a new accounting system to something as complicated as a so-called virtual fence on the Mexican border, are finished millions of dollars over budget, years behind schedule, and not performing as planned. Not all, but too many. In fact, many times agencies pay twice the going rate for obsolete technology that doesn't serve their agency's needs or the people that are served by those respective agencies. To make matters worse, Congress has often learned about these failed projects after it's too late and millions of dollars have already been misspent and in some cases wasted. To address this problem, I've introduced legislation today along with Senator Susan Collins of Maine that will give agency leadership and decision makers in Congress the information they need to know whether our investment in new technology is making a true impact, the kind of impact that is intended. Our bill, the Information Technology Investment Oversight, Enhancement, and Waste Prevention Act, and I repeat, no, I don't want to repeat that. That's quite a name. But this act would also give OMB new tools that it can use to help agencies fix troubled projects, hopefully before they fail. The second area that often prevents the effective use of technology within the federal government is the risk we face from cyber attacks. Just this morning we had a full committee hearing on this particular issue and concern. But our nation, as we know, our nation comes under attack every day by hackers, by cyber criminals, and even by other sovereign nations, or people within those sovereign nations. In many cases, I think, with the understanding and the permission of their governments. Our oversight has shown that to date, agencies have failed to take necessary steps to ensure that sensitive information and critical infrastructure are secure. There is no clear evidence today of a significant and disruptive cyber attack against the United States, but countries such as Estonia, Georgia, Australia, and Brazil, among others, have already been victims. The technical capability and expertise is available if a terrorist group or country that wanted to do us harm decided to use it. In fact, it can be easily bought and sold right there on the Internet. In addition, Americans' sensitive personal information, as we all know, is constantly at risk. A number of agencies store a significant amount of the kind of information that identity thieves and criminals might find valuable. Agencies also hold sensitive security information. Just last week, we learned that someone had gone online to steal the plans for our most technologically advanced fighter jet. Which one is it, the F-35? Yeah, the F-35. I introduced another bill today to address this pressing problem, and that bill, called the U.S. Information and Communications Enhancement Act, would organize the federal government to deal with these 21st century challenges such as cyber threats by establishing an office with, among other things, by establishing an office within the White House to coordinate the work of the various agencies involved in cyber security. This legislation would also strengthen the Department of Homeland Security's role in cybersecurity and give agency security officers more authority to enforce and test security standards. We look forward to working with our new administration, the Obama administration, and the new team on these and other issues. And when Senator McCain arrives, I'll recognize him for any statement that he wishes to make. But until that point in time, let me just take a few minutes to introduce our first witness, who's joined us. And I very much enjoyed meeting with you earlier this week, and thank you for spending the time to do that. And for being here today. There was a lot of this debate on the pronunciation of your name. So let me just try it, and you just coach me till I get it right. Vivek, correct? Vivek? Vivek. Is it Kundra or Kundra? Kundra. Emphasis on the first syllable? Ah, good. Good, thank you. Vivek Kundra was appointed as the first federal CIO of the United States by President Obama in March of 2009. In that capacity, he directs the policy and strategic planning of federal information technology investments and is responsible for the oversight of federal technology spending. The federal CIO establishes and oversees enterprise architecture to ensure system interoperability and information sharing and ensure information security and privacy across the federal government. Mr. Kundra has been recognized among the top 25 CTOs in the country. Is that true? All right. In the country, and as the 2008 IT Executive of the Year for his pioneering work to drive transparency, engage citizens, and lower the cost of government operations. Prior to joining the Obama administration, Mr. Kundra served in Mayor Fenty's cabinet as the CTO for the District of Columbia and Governor Keene's cabinet down in Virginia as Assistant Secretary of Commerce and Technology for the Commonwealth of Virginia. His diverse record also includes technology and public policy experience in the private sector and in academia. He must be a lot older than you look. That's a pretty good resume. Very good resume. Following his appointment, the appointment of Mr. Kundra, President Barack Obama said these words: Vivek Kundra will bring a depth of experience in the technology arena and a commitment to lowering the cost of government operations to this position. He went on to say, I have directed him to work to ensure that we are using the spirit of American innovation and the power of technology to improve performance and lower the cost of government operations. As Chief Information Officer, he will play a key role in making sure our government is running in the most secure, most open, and efficient way possible. We received last night on my way home a copy of your testimony and had a chance to read it. And I thought I said to you in a short conversation we had here before the hearing began, I thought it was one of the most lucid, understandable pieces of testimony that I've actually read on this subject. And I don't know if you write your own material, but if you do, keep it up. And if you don't, just hang on to the person who wrote this, because it's good. It's good stuff. All right, with that having been said, I was going to kid you and say that we normally swear in our witnesses and ask you to rise and take the oath. We don't do that. But I won't do that with you. So we're just going to ask you to take it right from the top. Your full statement will be made a part of the record. And once you've completed it, we'll have some questions. All right. Please thanks for joining us, and please proceed.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and members of the subcommittee. Thank you for inviting me to testify on the federal government and how the federal government can use information technology to change the way agencies achieve their missions, as well as how information technology can enable agencies to spark innovation, interact with citizens more effectively, and ensure transparency while reducing energy. To begin, consider the three major revolutions that have fundamentally transformed society: the agricultural revolution, the industrial revolution, and the information revolution. In all cases, a fundamental principle holds true. Technology has been pivotal in driving structural change.